Hello dear students, good morning. My name is Harendra Tiwari from LPM Public School, Gola Bazar, Gorakhpur. Today in this video, I am going to explain you discovery of proton. So, how the proton discovered? As we know that every matter has the two types of the charges, either positive charge or negative charge. In last video I had explained that discovery of electrons, and electron is a negative charge particles. Now discovery of proton, which is the positively charged particle. So now write the heading discovery of positively charged particle which is proton. This discovery is possible by the experiment, that is the experiment is responsible for this discovery. We call that Canol ray experiment. This experiment was performed by Eugene Goldstein in 1886. Eugene Goldstein, he performed this experiment and observed a ray behind the cathode, and he called that ray is the Canol rays. So, and later on we have proven or we have conceptualized that ray is the positive charge ion, and the term proton is derived for those positive charge ion. So how the term proton has been conceptualized? Now let us understand first the discovery of the Canol rays, that is discovered by Eugene Goldstein. He used an instrument that we call the discharge tube. As earlier you are familiar with it. This discharge tube fitted with a suction pump, or we call that vacuum pump. The use of vacuum pump to maintain the internal pressure, because this experiment carried out at very low pressure. So this is a vacuum pump, The use of vacuum pump is to maintain pressure inside the discharge tube. Discharge tube is that made up of the glass tube. This glass tube is fitted with two metal plate. The metal plate which is connected to the negative terminal of battery, that we call cathode, and the metal plate which is connected to positive terminal of battery, we call it anode. Connected to the positive terminal of battery, we call it anode. And if the special things about this experiment, he took that perforated cathode. There are the small pores are in the cathode plate. He made the gas taken, that is hydrogen gas. So this is the atoms of the hydrogen hydrogen atoms. Then he applied a very high voltage at low pressure. He used a phosphorescent material that is coated the wall of the discharge tube behind the cathode. This is the phosphorescent material. The application of this material, it has the special characteristics. When any charged particle strike over at this surface, the surface is coated with the phosphorescent, then it start to glow. In the previous class, I already explained that. For example, the phosphorescent material, one is the zinc sulfide. In the CFL bulb is the one of the example. Might you have observed that in the CFL bulb there is a white color coating of the substance. If we remove that white color coating, then CFL bulb will not glow and we could not get that light. So that phosphorescent materials, when striked, we throw any charged particles over the phosphorescent material, then phosphorescent material started to glow. This is the special characteristics of the phosphorescent material. Are such materials which on colliding with the charged particles started to glow, we call them the phosphorescent material. So now this is coated with that. Then when he applied a high voltage at low pressure, he observed a faint fluorescence at the wall of the discharge tube, which is coated with the phosphorescent material. Observation, what he had observed, he observed faint color light, faint color light. Then a flash of the light he observed, a flash of the light. Faint means that is a flash of light he had observed. Then he concluded that might some rays are coming from the anode and reaching to the cathode. He called this rays, first of all, from a German word Canal-Strahlen. This Canal-Strahlen means canal ray. Why he called this ray is the Canal-Strahlen. The meaning of canal is here channels or holes. The meaning of canal is here channels or holes. When these rays are passed through this hole, then it was observed. After passing through this hole, this rays was recognized. That's why he called these rays to Canal-Strahlen, because after passing through the canal channels or holes which he had made in the cathode, after that he recognized this rays. That's why he called the canal rays. In German he used the term Canal-Strahlen. Canal rays have another name, anode rays. Why he called the anode rays? Because it is started from anode and moving toward the cathode, same as earlier. The cathode rays that originated towards from the cathode and moving towards the anode. Since cathode rays originated from cathode as well as the particles, atoms of the gas filled inside the discharge tube. But here, do you know how this anode rays arises are generated or produced inside the discharge tube? So now I am going to explain that production of anode rays in discharge tube. So explanation about what happened when he applied high voltage at low pressure. The same times cathode and anode rays both are producing. It is possible when we applied the high voltage at low pressure, then the same times the cathode and anode rays are produced. For here, the anode rays produces first of all from the cathode plate. Cathode rays produces from the first of all the cathode rays that we recognize is the electron. Then electron strike with the atoms present. The electron generated from cathode. From cathode, sorry, 1 minute. When he applied, let us continue. When he applied high voltage at low temperature, then what happened? At low pressure, then what happened? The electron first ejected out from the cathode plate, and this electron, suppose this is the hydrogen atom. In hydrogen atom, electrons are present. So this electron is knocked this electron, and so this electron is ejected out. So when this electron is ejected out, then we got that one positive charged atom. This is a positive charged atom. Not understood? Let us see once more how these positive charged rays has appeared in the in the discharge tube. Means how does this canal rays produce? As I told you, he applied high voltage at low pressure. When he applied the high voltage at low pressure, that at starting the electron from cathode ejected. This electron strike to the atom of the gas present inside the discharge tube. Atom. This is the hydrogen atom. It has the electron. So electron which is ejected from the cathode plate that strike at the atoms of the gas present in the discharge tube. This electron make it knock out from the atom. When this electron strike at the atom, so due to that the electrons present in one atom that will eject out. Electron, suppose this is box. It contains the electrons, right? And positive charge atom. Electron and proton both are present in this. This electron ejected from the cathode plate and strike this electron, suppose. This is one atom, this atom. This is a big, very big, but you consider this is atom. This electron ejected from, this is the electron ejected from the cathode plate. When it strike at the wall, not a wall, this is the atom, telling the wall, this is atom. See, when this electron strike to this atom, then what happen? The electrons present inside the atom, that will also eject. Means that electron ejected out after striking the electrons which is coming from cathode plate. So now tell me, when the electrons come out from this atom, then is it possible this atom will get the positive charge? Yes or no? One electron you take out from this atom. So will this atom acquire the positive charge? Yes or no? Yes. This atom will acquire the positive charge. Means the number of atoms whatever present inside the discharge tube, every atom get converted into positively charged particle after the ejection of the electron. After the ejection of the electrons, every atom was converted into positive charged particles. So when the electrons ejected out from here, then as a result, here the one positive charge particles and plus one negative charge particles will form. Then now tell me, what is the direction of the positive charge particles? In which direction will it move? From towards this positive charge particles will move in which direction? Towards the negative plate or towards the positive plate or towards the negative plate? This positive charge particles will move in which direction? Here clear, this negative charge particles will move towards the positively charged plate. This is the positively and this is negatively. So here is the possibility, this whatever the positive charge particles ion generated or produced inside this discharge tube, they move on towards the negative charge plate. So every positive charge the particles started to moving towards the negative charge plate. So when they move towards the negative charge plate, they strike at the wall of the discharge tube which is coated with the fluorescent material, phosphorescent material, and they made it to glow. Clear? He observed that glow. At the wall behind that. When it was possible, since size of this charge particles was larger than the negative charge particle, so they recognized after making the hole in the in the cathode plate. That's why he called them canal rays. Clear? Or canal Stahelin. So this is the process of the generation and recognition of the positive charge particles in the discharge tube. Here I explain how the positive charge particles that is canal rays produces inside the discharge tube. I hope this concept has been clear to you. The production of positive charge and production of negative charge particles. Negative charge particles they call the cathode ray, they keep on moving towards the anode plate, and positively charged particles that we call the anode ray, they keep on moving towards the cathode. The process is continue and the positive charge will move, positive charge will move, positive charge move, positive charge will move, positive charge will move towards the cathode plate. So the direction of the positive charge from anode to the cathode, that's why these called that anode rays. This is the direction of positive charge and this is the direction of cathode to anode. This is the direction of negative charge particle, electron. Is it clear? So you noted down it, then I will continue further this discussion. I hope you have understood that discovery of canal rays how has made. Now I am going to add this. There are some more points about it. As I told you, the Eugene Goldstein used the word Canalstrahlung, which is the German word, that is canal rays. Why we call canal rays? Because it is observed behind the cathode plate after making the hole or the passing through the hole which he had made in the cathode. It is also known as anode rays because it is coming towards the anode direction. But you remember that these anode rays does not originate from the anode, it is originate between the cathode and anode plate from the atom of the gases which is filled inside the discharge tube. Clear? Or channel rays also we call that. Then what happen if we take hydrogen atom, we fill the hydrogen gas in the discharge tube. Hydrogen atom, if we fill in the discharge tube, hydrogen gas if we fill the discharge tube, then we get the nucleus of hydrogen plus electron that we can show such a way. If hydrogen gas H, then nucleus of hydrogen and plus electron. H atom we will take. So this H atom will release the electron and get converted into H plus. This is a electron. So the first time it is observed that this H plus has very light atoms, light charged particles, and on the basis of the nature they have studied about the nature of the canal rays, and they concluded that these canal rays are positively charged ion. Canal rays is what? This canal rays is the nothing. These are the positively charged ion of the gases which is filled or taken in discharge tube, which is taken in the discharge tube. If we take the hydrogen, we get the hydrogen atom ion. If we take the oxygen, we get the oxygen atom ion. So the first time the name of this H plus is given by Rutherford. Eugene Rutherford has named this positive charge ion is the proton. The word proton is derived from a Greek word. The Greek word protos. The meaning of this protos is the first, means this is the simplest nucleus. H plus is the nucleus of hydrogen. It is a simplest nucleus, and one principle was that time much more popular, that prototile, means everything they have the belief, some community of the scientists they have a strong belief that everything is made up of by H plus, means by the hydrogen atom nucleus. Nucleus of the hydrogen atom is responsible to manufacture or produce or whatever the things present in our universe, that is because of the nucleus of hydrogen. So they consider that this is the first nucleus that is created by our God or our nature. So that's why Rutherford call H plus ion to proton. H plus ion to proton. H plus ion is the proton because it identifies that H plus ion has the only one proton. So in such way the proton word came in existence, and we got the proton, which is positively charged particles present in the nucleus of the atoms. Later on we have concluded through a number of the experiment this positively charged particles present inside the nucleus. So now here I explain that Canol-Ridge experiment, the discovery of Canol-Ridge and the discovery of proton. Here one point I make you clear, there is the contradiction in the different books and different author. Since the discovery of proton and the discovery of the proton, there are some of the community of the author, they are considering and they are giving credit to the Eugene Goldstein, and some of the community of the group of the scientists, they are giving credit to the Rutherford. Rutherford had discovered the proton, but the fact behind it is that we cannot give the credit to anyone indirectly. Let us understand that why. Because the discovery of Canol-Ridge was done by Eugene Goldstein. Rutherford only given the name to that positively charged atom of the nucleus of the hydrogen. So I believe that credit goes to the Eugene Goldstein. Okay, Rutherford, what is the fact here? I explained you. Canol-Ridge experiment was performed by the Eugene Goldstein. He performed this experiment and discovered the Canol-Ridge. Means who has discovered the Canol-Ridge? Eugene Goldstein, and the name were given by proton to the nucleus of H plus, nucleus of hydrogen by Eugene Rutherford. So I believe the discoverer of the proton is the Eugene Goldstein. So thank you for today class. Wish you all the best. So at last tell you thank you. In PDF note I am giving the some assignment question. So I hope you will do that. Wish you all the best. Enjoy your day. Continue. Do study.